Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony Greg Popovich says Patty Mills used to have too much junk in the trunk. Is that a problem for you?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. No. My issue is too little thread on the head.
I've been telling you for 20 years how to fix that.
Shave it off.
No thread on the head, you'll be fine.
But here's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm seriously thinking about this. I'm thinking of getting a new hairpiece, like a full hairpiece, but shaving my beard so that when people notice something is different, I say, well, I've shaved my beard.
Are you going Tony Kornheiser 1977 hair? Because that might
red
be a
afro.
Color issue.
Giant red afro. Don't you think that would look great? I had that like
I do.
Bernie in room 222
Others
as we date ourselves by 50 years. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Kevin Durant hates his streak. Rex Chapman says Cal is headed to Cali. And State Arian Foster speaks out in role play. But we begin today with Connecticut's impressive win over Kentucky last night. Connecticut's guards, Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright, they were superior all game. And UConn even out-rebounded bigger Kentucky. Now, some people are saying Kentucky would have won if they just made some free throws. Wilbon, is that how you saw the crux of that game?
Not the crux of the game. Yeah, that could happen if Kentucky made 80% of his free throws. But
Tony, they missed a lot.
They did. That's fair.
They missed a lot.
But I'm thinking most of Julius Randle for Kentucky having only 7 shots, of the Wildcats jacking up 16 threes. In this tournament, they'd won those games, those spectacular games, by playing to their advantage of size and strength and getting in the paint. They weren't able to do that. And I'm going to credit Kevin Ollie and that swarming quick defense. Yeah, that's fine. But the question is, and you raise a good point here, Tony, did they jack those shots up on their own, or were they not seeing through that defense what they wanted to see?
Look, Connecticut was great on defense the entire tournament. I'm wondering what happened at the end of the game. At the end of the game, Kentucky walked off the court with 3 timeouts in their pockets.
A little weird.
Now, I know that UConn's a great foul shooting team, and I told you that yesterday. It's a great advantage. But you have to make them beat you.
Make them hit them.
You have to use the timeouts. You have to foul people.
Did they have 2 timeouts still remaining?
3.
3. I want to see them foul hack every time you send them to the line. This is a national championship game. It's not like it's the end of the regular season. We're playing for seeding.
There's another
it's the last chance you got.
I'm watching that game, and I think what Kentucky really missed was a point guard. Because their offense seemed to exist running around the perimeter.
They couldn't get inside.
People would walk around and say, give me the ball, and then I'll give you the ball back. But a point guard, a guy like Napier, who doesn't always look for his own shot, but penetrates and gives the ball off, Kentucky lacked that. It looked like that UConn was the worst possible matchup for Kentucky with all their talent superiority. They couldn't do anything with it.
You and I said a couple of days ago is, well, we should have paid more attention to UConn because great point guard play rules the day in the NCAA tournament. Right. And you know what? While people praise Kentucky's talent all the time, and it's worthy, having a point guard, Tony, it's a specific thing that sometimes just having overall talent doesn't include.
Let me tell you something. I think the keepers of the flame of college basketball are very happy today. They're very happy that the one-and-dones, the Hessians, were kept from the gate. I really think that.
They were beaten a couple of years ago.
But they were beaten by a team. Yeah, but they didn't win twice.
4-year guy, Napier.
They're beaten by 2 starting seniors and 2 starting juniors, and that is rare in big-time conference play. That is rare.
Napier, first guy ever to win as a freshman and a senior.
Awfully good.
He is.
Awfully good.
A lot of talk today about Napier taking a shot at the NCAA on the post-game podium last night, too, for banning UConn from postseason play last season for a poor academic record. Let's listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the Hungry Huskies. This is what happens when you ban us. Last year, 2 years, we worked so hard for it. 2 years and Hungry Huskies.
Napier has quite a bit of support, it appears, Tom, for standing up to the NCAA and this particular policy. Is that the way you see this?
Not even slightly. And I understand why if you attack the NCAA, everybody's going to cheer. And I understand why Napier would feel that way because he was directly affected. He saw good players around him transfer out when UConn was told you can't play in the NCAA, can't even play in the Big East tournament. But the truth of the matter is there are like 330, 340 member schools in the NCAA D1.
Yeah.
And they're all told the same thing. You got to keep your academics to this particular standard. Here's a standard. We're very transparent about it. By the way, Connecticut, you're falling behind. We're telling you year 3, year 2, year 1, you're falling behind and we're going to get you. And Connecticut was arrogant. And Connecticut said, they're not going to get us. We're a big-time program. We've won this thing recently. And they ignored it, and they got whacked, and it cost Jim Calhoun his job. And they were whacked fairly, Mike.
Yeah, Tony, the multiple warnings lead me to say that even if I don't like this particular provision, the multiple warnings sort of take it out of your hand. But I would say this. There ought to be a better way of dealing with the school institutionally and not punishing players who
You're absolutely
maybe just
right about
completely
that.
innocent of this. Now, I know you can
and I'm not knocking UConn. UConn's a great program. Kevin Ollie is a great coach. They've got great players. But these rules are there for everybody to read and absorb.
That's right.
And if you don't meet that standard, don't yell and scream that you got treated unfairly.
But it seems like it's the only instance of this, and you wonder about the NCAA's warnings.
But, Mike, you've said for years to me on this show they never go after the big guys.
They went after a big guy.
And they gave him fair warning and went after a big guy.
Again, I'm not saying that the NCAA, I'm not going to say that the NCAA applied this unfairly. I'm looking at the rule and wondering whether you even correct the problem
you know what?
with this solution.
If their academics were better, they had a shot at another one of these. Because this is the cast that they would have had for
a couple of more years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, when they get into finals, both men and women, they never lose. So they're great.
They don't.
They never lose.
Bad news for another story coming up.
Former Kentucky great Rex Chapman tweeted out last night that John Calipari was headed for the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's the tweet, quote, "Word is, win or lose tonight, it's a done deal. Cal to La La Land to coach Mamba's Lakers. Hashtag no BS," unquote. Chapman walked it back a little today on the Dan Patrick Show, but not completely. Calipari said that Kentucky is, quote, the best job in the country, unquote. So, Wilbon, Chapman's tweet, something or nothing?
Oh, something. You and I know Rex Chapman, and we've known him for a long time.
Like him.
Rex Chapman is plugged into NBA circles. He has worked as a scout and an executive in the league since he stopped playing. All right, Rex Chapman is privy to conversations about who's going to be hired, fired, looked at, drafted, all of that stuff. So considering the source, Rex Chapman, I believe Rex Chapman. And you know I've said this, Tony. I don't know if he'll wind up with the Lakers, and Rex thinks he'll wind up there. He's talking about more about the movement that's going to be out for Calipari. I think Cal should and will leave.
My position is very clear on this. If you're going to make a big move like this and you're John Calipari, you've already failed once in the NBA. So the next time is the last time. You fail again, you're never getting back to the NBA, and you got to go somewhere else. This is a very important move for him. I don't think you ever move unless you walk into a team where you have one of the 5 best players, because I don't think you can win with the 7th player or the 8th player, one of the 5 best. And the only exception I would make is the Los Angeles Lakers, because they have the money and the prestige and the address to get free agents more than any other team.
Well, that's just it. You walk in, first of all, if you presume that he and Kobe Bryant have a pretty good relationship, that's where you start.
Yeah, but Kobe's going to play one more year. He's
going to play one more year. He's probably going to play at least 2 more years because money's flowing in. So a couple more years, and you look at the ability to get players.
That's
yes, Tony.
Right.
And so that would be the exception.
But here's the question.
But I don't know that the Lakers, they're going to be competition if Cal makes it known he's leaving.
This is the same question I have with Phil Jackson and the Knicks.
What?
Will ownership really allow Phil Jackson to do everything he says he wants to do?
So will Jimmy Buss allow Cal to do what he wants to do?
Phil Jackson is a much greater track record circumstance in the NBA than John Calipari.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you do this if you're Cal?
Yes.
Would you do this?
Sure, because by this point I've coached half the league. Because I send out 5 a year, and I've never heard a single player say they don't want to play for Calipari.
That's right.
I've never heard that. I would do it for the Lakers, yes. Other places, no.
Thank you for coming over.
Well, you just said it wouldn't be the Lakers.
It doesn't matter. He should be gone from Kentucky, where they're ungrateful, and they will be angry because they didn't win the championship.
I wouldn't leave Kentucky for other teams.
Leave.
No,
Get out of Kentucky.
I wouldn't do it.
We don't need that
I wouldn't do it
anymore. The last college basketball game of the season will tip off in about 2 hours. But it's going to be the first time 2 undefeated teams have met in the championship game. UConn versus Notre Dame. And there's a sizzling sidebar, the beef between the 2 head coaches, Gino Auriemma and Muffet McGraw, who says the 2 are past the point of civility. Tone, is this dispute bringing attention to this game or distracting from it?
What do people say? It's all good?
Yeah.
There's no distraction here.
Good.
It's bringing eyeballs. This is not a 20-share game. This is bringing eyeballs to the women's basketball championship, primarily to see if pregame, halftime, and postgame
go after each other.
What are they going to do? And you know who else brings people to the game like that?
Who?
Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll, and Jim Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh and everybody. Everybody wants to see this berserker and how he behaves, and people want to the game's fine. They want to see what's going to happen with Muffet McGraw and Gino Auriemma.
I don't care about that. Here's why.
Well, you don't.
Nothing's going to happen. Well, somebody's going to slap somebody? Nothing's going to happen.
You want to see what happens.
This is not like years ago when Calipari.
You can hope somebody slaps somebody. You can hope Muffet goes up there and whacks him with some gloves.
This is not Calipari and John Chaney, where they're going to have to hold me back. This is not going to be that. You know it's not going to be that. It's a lot of woofing. It's sort of distracting from the game. I care about this game. I want to see they're undefeated.
Yeah, both teams. Who you want?
I don't.
Who you want? I do. I want Connecticut. I want Connecticut to win.
Why?
Gino Auriemma has built
oh, wait, you're rooting for the school closest to New York City.
He's built a program out of nothing. There's nothing in UConn before him. You know, and they don't have the academic prestige of Notre Dame. They don't have that. Pat Summitt started women's basketball, basically, and Gino Auriemma came and did the same. Muffet McGraw didn't do this. Gino Auriemma's teams, they'll go play anybody anywhere. You know that.
You think Notre Dame
play
does
anybody.
Wait a minute, you're rooting against Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I've never heard you do this.
And Notre Dame's really good.
I've never heard you do this.
Notre Dame owns UConn lately. They're 7-2 recently.
Muffet McGraw
Nobody's 7-2 against Auriemma. Yeah, it's fine.
Beat them all the time.
So are you rooting for Notre Dame? Have some guts. Take a position. Take some position.
I'll pick Notre Dame. Ooh. I'm not necessarily rooting for anybody.
He's rooting for Notre Dame, who he hates in football. Kevin Durant has scored 25 points or more in his last 41 games. This is the third longest such streak in NBA history. The longest, of course, don't ask, it's Wilt. It's 106. Durant is sick of this streak. Durant said, quote, "I don't really care about it. I wish it were over," unquote. Well, Durant could always go out there, get to 24, and say, "Take me out of the game." So how significant is this streak?
On a 1 to 10 scale, Tony, I think this is a 6 or 7. I'm not going to go crazy with it because
you just wildly overrated it.
Going crazy with it is 8, 9, or 10. I didn't do any of that. I left a lot of room.
Whoa.
Okay? Wilt is first by a lot.
Crazy.
You had Wilt at 80. I had to tell you Wilt was at 106. Michael Jordan did.
Wilt. Boom.
Michael Jordan did 240s, and Oscar's ahead of Jordan.
So he's only third, Mike. It's 25 points. It's artificial. It's like when you tune into television and you are greeted with this crawl that says this is only the third time in NBA history that a guard went for 22, 11 and 14
I hate these.
on the road.
Wait.
You go, what?
That's why I just took it down to a 6. Look,
I'm going to give you something more significant.
Kevin Durant has carried this team even without Russell Westbrook.
That's why he's the MVP.
That's why he is the MVP.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to fill in the ballot. I'm going to fill in the ballot this week.
Here we go. Here's the important part of this streak.
What?
During this streak, where, by the way, he averages 32 points a game, and he averages 30 without the streak. Okay. The Thunder are 28 and 14 during the streak. Before the streak, they were 27 and 7. So they're doing poorly, relatively speaking, during the streak. What I care, Kevin Durant's a great scorer.
But Westbrook had to come back and being reincorporated. You know that. These are where numbers are misleading, and you know that.
This streak on a scale of 1 to 10 is 1. It's 1. It's artificial. It doesn't mean anything.
It is artificial.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's artificial.
It's artificial flowers.
And here's the thing.
Oh, those flowers are lovely. Can I smell them? No, they're made out of paper.
I hate this new phrasing on this network where it's in the modern era.
What does that mean?
As if Wilt was in the 1600s.
Paleolithic era and Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt, who played in the 1970s. That makes me angry.
All of you people shut up.
It's still a 6 or so. 6+.
Let's take a break.
6+.
Coming up, what did Tony Romo, your boy, discuss with 2 former presidents?
Plus, Derek Jeter,
number 2,
defends his effort. And fake Arian Foster, he didn't look, he's just sort of.
I thought that was Arian Foster.
He defends his game, and by game, you know what I'm talking about?
I thought that was Arian Foster.
I'm just picking Notre Dame because you're picking you.
The only upside to being sick as a dog during role play, knowing I'll give Wilbon what I have.
Yeah, no.
You give, I will receive.
No. Well, you tell you got the consumption, dude.
Who am I?
I want that. You are your boy, Tony Romo.
I like Tony Romo.
What did you talk about with the former presidents last night?
First of all, look at where I am sitting. Do you see me? I'm in the front row compared to both those people. I have a better seat than 2 former presidents, plus I don't have to clean Jerry's glasses, Clinton does. So I feel good about that. What do we talk about? Honestly, I asked them if they would invite me to the White House just because they used to live in the White House, because the way we're going with the Cowboys, I don't think we're going to get the Super Bowl.
You need that at-large invitation.
I don't think we're going to get the automatic invite. I really don't. Those guys, in pressure-packed circumstances, in 2 runs each for the presidency, they're 4-0. I am at the moment 1-3 in the playoffs, and I can't get out of the second round.
They were laughing at you?
They might have been. Did you notice also that how hot my wife is and how I kept her away from Clinton?
Every week. Oh, that's.
Oh, did I say
that's
that?
Out of
did
bounds.
I say that?
That's out of bounds, Tony. Romo, that's out of bounds. Who am I?
You're Tiger Woods.
Good.
Be honest. If you never win another major, are you going to feel like you failed?
You know.
Be honest.
I care about the majors more than anything. About. But you know what? You know what's interesting, though?
What?
People care about the Masters. Are they going to care about it without me? Huh?
Not as much.
You're going to care when that fat kid wearing red on Sunday? You know, Nike ought to. I ought to call a Nike executive. I should call
what
Nike.
is this?
And say, keep the fat kid out of my shirts on Sunday.
You made Nike.
Huh?
How can they let that guy wear red on Sunday?
So you cheer for that dope, Tony.
If
you take it up his cause.
It wouldn't have happened.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to watch the Masters without me. That's too bad. Yeah, I care about the majors, but you know, when I step back and take a look at a glorious career, it won't be so painful
lying,
then.
Tiger.
But I tell you what, I think I'm rooting against the fat kid. How you like his stomach in that red?
What are you going to do, by the way? Where are you going to go on Sunday to go backwards like you've been going lately?
What do you mean, go backwards? I'm not watching. I won't be watching. Won't even be there. No, what's the point?
I love Tiger.
Huh?
Tiger.
Miss Tiger is what we're going to do.
Of course we do. The rating's going to be bad.
You are fake Arian Foster.
Am I?
What do you have to say to the real Arian Foster?
The real Arian Foster. By the way, this guy is calling me out on Twitter. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to make a career to get to beautiful women because I look like you, and you stink lately. You had one touchdown last year. You're ruining my game. You're putting me in a position where nobody's looking twice at me. Don't you think
the game's being ruined from that photo?
If I could, don't you think I'd be fake Adrian Peterson? Because at least he goes out there and gets 130 yards a game. You're killing me, Foster. Did you retire? What are you doing? Are you playing football? This is awful. What you have done to me personally is dreadful.
Let's hope for the lady's sake that this guy's as big an egomaniac as you're making.
How much do you think I look like the real Arian Foster? A lot, right?
80%.
Because he wears a helmet. So how do you know what he looks like?
The real Arian's got a little better beard, though.
Is that right?
It's a little better.
Isn't it great to be fake Arian Foster on TV?
Yes, it is. Who am I?
You are Derek Jeter.
Jeter, number 2.
Admit it, you were loafing on your double yesterday.
What do you mean, loafing? Did I make it to second base?
Barely.
And you know what, Tony? Just between you and me, in my real life, second base ain't where I'm trying to get.
I wouldn't think. No gift basket for second,
no
Derek.
Gift basket is second base. We really don't have to worry about that. Look, this is my last season. What do you expect me to do? You want me to break my knees running around? I wasn't getting the third. I haven't gotten the third like that in about 6 years.
You can't put it out of the park anymore, Derek.
Look, I hit it far. All 318 feet.
It's high, it's far.
It's a spring wind. It's blowing in. I'll hit my home runs.
That was bad, wasn't it?
I'm the captain. I'm Derek Jeter. What do you want me to do? What do you mean loafing? I don't loaf. I've run into the stands and banged my beautiful face going after foul balls just to beat the
You know what's great about you this year?
Socks when I need to hustle.
Not only do you get gifts, but you don't have to have Alex Rodriguez in the clubhouse.
They're awful gifts.
It's really good.
Sorry gifts.
That's it for role play, kids. Was it good for you?
In a gift basket.
Time for a break, but on the way, the Nets go for a season sweep of your Miami Heat.
Plus, Josh Hamilton's hot start and Marcus Smart's NBA decision.
It would be fun to be Derek Jeter for a while.
All the time.
Well,
all the time.
You get tired physically. Programming note, we're bumped by the Masters until Monday. Hello, friends. Now let's get happy. Happy 50th birthday, Biz Marquis. I'm not as familiar with Mr. Marquis as perhaps you are, Wilbon, but his big hit was Just a Friend. And I want to say to you, Wilbon, you got what I need. You say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend.
Never heard of him.
Never?
No.
So why are we doing his birthday?
I have no idea.
God,
how about that?
Stupid. Happy anniversary, Hank Aaron. On this day 40 years ago, in Atlanta's home opener, Bad Henry Aaron stepped in against LA's Al Downing, jacked out number 715 to set a new baseball record for homers. And Aaron went around the bases where he was caught by a couple of kids before touching home where he was met by a young Craig Sager.
I was 15 years old watching it on TV. Where were you?
I was working. I was watching it. In Newsday. I was working in Newsday.
It's a great moment.
Oh, it is.
It grows greater with time. Now you look at it and you just get genuflect.
Happy Trails Digger Phelps. Our great friend Richard Digger Phelps announced last night that he is leaving ESPN after 20 years. Wilbon, we knew Digger long before ESPN, when he was the coach at Notre Dame and before that at Fordham. We knew Digger before he became fixated on points in the paint, who's on a mission, and taking care of business. We even knew Digger before the tie lighter, and we liked him anyway.
We loved him, and this goes back to when I first started covering college basketball. Digger Phelps was one of the first coaches that was really good to me. You know what? He saved my life one night, driving from Notre Dame to Chicago, kept me out of some blizzard. Digger reminds me of
Is that what you call that bar?
He reminds me of that.
Blizzard?
You're not supposed to tell that story.
Trying to find out we messed up reality.
I think I want to hear more about that Blizzard story. Wilbon, you had Shabazz Napier as the first to play and win as a freshman and senior, tied for the first with his teammate Niels Gaffey. Durant's PPG in the streak is 34-tone, and the real Arian Foster had 2 touchdowns last season, 1 receiving.
He's a Pro Bowler now. Big finish. Joe Dumars, your boy, will reportedly resign before his contract expires on July 1st. Are you surprised?
No, reports have been out there to this effect for a while. Joe Dumars, it should be remembered, assembled a team that won a championship
with Larry
and was
Brown.
constantly in the mix. Marcus Smart is reportedly going to the NBA. Top 10 pick?
8, 9, 10, somewhere in there? Probably, yeah. Josh Hamilton, 12 for 24 to play through 7 games. Big season coming?
Let's not go crazy on 24 ABs, but it could be. It'd be nice if it was. The Kentucky fan who got 2014 national champions tattoo says he's keeping it. Is it right?
Keeping it? What, like he can lend it out? What does that mean?
Get rid of it.
Of course
you can go and erase it.
Last one, the Nets are 3-0 against the Heat this season. Do they go 4-0 tonight?
Brooklyn at Miami. I got this wrong last time, but I'm going with the Heat one more time.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
They want that #1 seed. I'm Mike Wilbon. We are off till Monday. Remember the Masters. I'm not picking between Notre Dame and UConn. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
it. Not officiate.
Postage meter companies used to be the only way to print postage, and they took advantage of that, charging whatever ridiculous fees they wanted. But those days are over, thanks to Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you get more features than a postage meter at a fraction of the cost. All you need is your computer and printer to print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail. With Stamps.com, everything you can do at the post office, you can do right from your desk. It's so convenient. And right now, Stamps.com has a special offer when you use promo code PTI. Get a no-risk trial, plus a $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com today, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in PTI. That's Stamps.com, promo code PTI.
What makes the Indy 500 the greatest spectacle in racing?
Michael Morgan.
We are green. Everyone in the grandstands are on their feet.
Now a winner of the Indianapolis 500, my friend.
The Indianapolis 500, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on ABC.